All right, welcome to the Tax Problem Solver. My name is Charles Montesino. I'm a certified public accountant and certified tax resolution specialist, and partner with my daughter Megan Ciacia in the CPA firm of Montesino and Ciacia. We specialize, among other things, in helping people with IRS and state tax problems. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's unpaid balances, unfiled tax returns, innocent spouse, offers in compromise, IRS audits, state audits, sales tax audits. Doesn't really matter. If you have an IRS problem, chances are we can help you. And give us a call at 877-257-1040. Calls will be answered at any time. There's always someone able to take your call. Or you can email me direct at ckm@taxproblemsolve.com. All right, let's continue. We have some questions like normal, recent questions. So let's go through. What is a tax lien? The tax lien is a notice that the IRS sends to the county clerk's office where you live, telling them that they should record in their book, their public records book, that you owe the IRS money. It says what your tax years are, how much you owe, and when the last date they have to file to enforce collection. So that's telling the whole world that Joe Smith owes the IRS $100,000. That's why you're getting letters from places that can help you or say they can help you. They'll send you a letter saying that, federal tax lien's been filed against you, you owe $100,000. We can solve it for $8,000. Somebody else is going to tell you they can solve it for $500. Somebody else is going to say $3,500. They can't say that because they don't know what you owe. They're trying to get you to do an offer in compromise. Not everybody qualifies for an offer in compromise. Sometimes it's a payment plan. And they don't know what your ability to pay is. They don't know what your income is, what your assets are. The letters that we send say, call us, we may be able to help you. And we explain the circumstances. So that is a tax lien. It will ruin your credit. It will drop your credit score by a couple hundred points. You can still borrow money, but if the current mortgage rate is 4%, your rate might be 10%. Instead of 10% down, you might have to put 30 or 40% down. Well, you don't have the money to pay your taxes. Where are you going to get 40% of the cost of your new house? Credit card. You're not going to get a low credit card. The only credit card you're probably going to be able to get is going to be one that's secured. A $500 credit card that you give them $500 that will hold in escrow if you don't pay your bill. Car loan. Last car I bought was about a year ago. I bought a Ford Explorer. The interest rate was 0. Great deal. You can't get any better interest rate than 0. Person with a tax lien is not going to get a 0 or a 0.9 or a 1.9. They might be 9.9 or 10 or 12%. They can still get credit, but it's going to be very expensive. I tell people that file bankruptcy, you can still borrow money, you can still get credit, but it's going to be very, very expensive. It's not going to be cheap. So that's what a tax lien is. If you ever get a tax lien, you want to get it off your record as soon as possible. If you're being threatened by the IRS of having a tax lien filed against them, call us at 877-257-1040. Let us go to work to try to prevent that lien being filed in the first place. So another question we get is, what is a levy? People misconstrue and think that a levy and a lien is the same thing. They are not. A levy is when the IRS notifies your bank that you owe them X amount of dollars, and they want them to take it out of your bank account and send it to them. No big deal, right? You owe them $100,000, you got $800 in the bank, they take the $800 out and send it to the IRS. Problem is, every check that you have written against that $800 is going to bounce. Bank's not going to honor those checks. And that's not so bad for an individual, but a business, it could be catastrophic. Your paychecks are going to bounce, payments to suppliers and vendors are going to bounce, your employees are going to start looking for another job if they're not getting paid. Your suppliers are not going to ship you material. Your landlord, electric company, So in business, it is almost catastrophic to get a federal levy filed against you, bank levy. Now the IRS tells the bank, tells the bank to hold the money for 21 days, giving you time to show them that you don't owe the money or work out payment arrangements with them. That's great. You might be able to get your money back, but in the meantime, those checks that you wrote are still going to bounce. Now, if they take your levy year account today and you put money in the bank tomorrow, that money is safe. It's just a one-time thing, a levy. It's reaching into your pocket and picking your pocket. It's taking money out of your bank account, whatever's there today. They're not going back in your pocket tomorrow because you put more money in tomorrow morning. They have to file a whole nother levy again, and that may not be for a month or two before they would levy you again. So that's what a levy is. Now, what you need to do when you're notified that the levy has been presented to the bank, you need to immediately contact the IRS or call us at 877-257-1040 and let us go to work for you to get that levy released. Many times we can set up an installment agreement over the phone and get that levy released right away. We always want you to tell us and have the fax number and the name of the person at the bank that the IRS can immediately fax that levy release to, so that money can go back into your account today. So you always need that. Now, another thing that we're asked about is a wage garnishment. Wage garnishment's a little similar to a levy, except it's ongoing. The IRS will notify your employer that you owe them money. And they tell the employer to take most of your take-home pay and send it to them. Now, your withholding taxes are safe, but there's a percentage or a formula based on the exemptions you claim on your W-4 form, how much you can bring home. And I kind of joke around and say, if you have a garnishment, you might not have gas money for the next week. It's not such a slight exaggeration. You're not going to have very much left home to take home. You're certainly not going to have enough to pay any of your bills. Go out for the weekend, nothing. So again, now if you get a garnishment, your employer knows that you have an IRS problem. You don't care that your bank knows that. You're faceless to the bank, but to your employer, you're not. And if you're a key employee, and especially if you're in the finance department, they're wondering, wow, do I want this person running my business, running my finances, when they can't pay their own taxes? They might take you off as a signer on the checking account, will not let you handle cash anymore, because they may be afraid you're going to steal cash to pay your bills, to pay the IRS. So again, if you have a garnishment, call us at 877-257-1040. We would need, again, just like with a bank levy, the name of the person in your HR department or your payroll person and the fax number, so the IRS can immediately fax that garnishment release. And again, we can take care of it by getting you an installment agreement. The IRS doesn't want to levy your bank account because they know you can't live without money with bouncing checks. They don't want to garnish your paycheck because they know you can't live if you don't have a net paycheck to take home. They know that. And then it's just an attention getter. It's one of those things that they will use that as a slap across the head to get your attention. We've seen it. We've seen it in war movies where Patton is a perfect example, where he slapped the guy who had shell shock to get him to think straight in his mind anyway. And we do that. It's just like when you're tired, you're driving late at night, you pull over at a turnpike, you go in, you throw cold water on your face to wake you up. That's an attention getter. I was on the turnpike a few weeks ago. I was tired. I went in to throw cold water on my face, and guess what? All the water was hot. Didn't do much good. But I kind of thought about buying a bottle of water and just pouring it over my head. But I'm accountant. I'm cheap. I wouldn't do that. I would drink the water, not throw it away. So that's what you do if you have a garnishment. So what you do if your employer is notified of the garnishment is immediately you take action, you call us, you talk to your employer. You're going to be embarrassed. That's just the way it is. Uh, you tell your employer whatever it was. I have no idea why this is. You know, I screwed up, boss. It won't happen again. I got it fixed. I had a client years ago that if he had somebody had a wage garnishment filed against him, he found whatever excuse he could to let them go. He didn't want somebody working for them that was not paying their taxes. It was just a philosophy he had. Had nothing to do with what he was in a construction company. It didn't matter if the guy was a carpenter or a bricklayer or the controller. He didn't care. And I think that's a little overboard. People get into trouble for all kinds of reasons. So it doesn't make them a bad person. So people want to know if when they hire us if they have to talk to the IRS. No, you do not. We take the responsibility. We get a power of attorney. We talk to them. We handle everything for you. We handle all the correspondence. They call us. They write us, request information. You're copied with it, but you are never contacted by the IRS. And if you are, let us know immediately so we can contact them and remind them that they are not supposed to help. So it goes into another question. Do I have to meet with the IRS when I hire you? Again, the answer to that question is no. You do not have to meet with the IRS. Again, we take over all the meetings, all the correspondence, all the phone calls. In fact, we don't want you to meet with the IRS or talk to them because we know what we're telling them. We know what they're telling us. When we get done with a conversation or a meeting, we make notes in the file. So we have a record of what was discussed. You're not going to make notes in the file. You're going to call me 3 days later and say, oh, yeah, yes, oh, yeah, I called the IRS guy the other day. I wanted to know what was going on. Well, why didn't you call me? Well, you say you haven't heard. I want to know what I'm going to hear. Well, you'll hear when we hear. You can't make them respond any quicker. And we have let clients go over the years that are trying to micromanage the case, that are constantly calling the IRS. And we can't do our job if you don't let us do our job. You're hiring us to do a job, so let us do it. And that includes taking and dealing with all the correspondence and all the phone calls. So that's what happens if you talk to the IRS. And do we offer free consultations? Yes, we do. We normally don't charge for a consultation, so many times, if it's something small, we can give you an idea what to do, or we can handle it real quick. That's if it's over $10,000. If it's under $10,000, we'll usually charge for a consultation. But we're usually able to give you an action plan for you to take care of it yourself if you want. If not, it's usually something minimal, which is an installment agreement that we can usually take care of over the phone. So, that's some of our questions that we've gotten recently. So again, this has been the Tax Problem Solver. You can reach me at 877-257-1040 or on my email at ckm@taxproblemsolved.com.